Welcome to Joyful Business, the only podcast dedicated to all things life and business for go-getter entrepreneurial Christian women on fire for Christ and fully on mission to fulfill His call to business. Inside, I share simple yet powerfully effective business and leadership lessons based on more than 3 decades of real-world experience as a former trial attorney, C-suite executive, and serial entrepreneur. If you are a woman with a track record of success as a licensed professional or corporate executive, and you're ready to achieve miraculous results as a business owner, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. What if there was a way to experience next level breakthrough in just 2.5 days? I'm talking about a shift in your identity, stepping into your future success sooner. What if in just a few short days, you could not only walk away with business assets worth tens of thousands of dollars, but you would be forever changed? This is exactly what you can expect at Joyful Business Live, a like nothing else transformational women's business conference happening in Florida, September 16th through the 18th. Now, you'll get 3 immersive days of breakthrough inside a Holy Spirit-soaked business growth environment. You'll have power-packed trainings and implementation workshops, and the rare opportunity to be coached by truly world-class experts. Because look, we are not just building a business. You're building a legacy. Save your seat to join 100 powerhouse women of Christ at the beach in September, and you can save 50% on your ticket right now with code JUDY50. That's JUDY 50. Just head over to joyfulbusiness.co. That's joyfulbusiness.co, and I will see you there. All right. I thought that I would come on here and cover something that I didn't have a chance to today. I ran out of time. And that is the 5 C's of communication. You see, ladies, it is so important that you understand that the best lawyer doesn't always win. The best accountant isn't always going to win. The best coach isn't always going to win. The best anything, the best whatever you are isn't always going to win. But you know who always does win? It's the best communicator. Communication is huge. It really is. I say like mindset's everything, but outside of mindset, the thing that really moves the ball in business is communication. And that makes sense, right? Because this is all week we've been talking about making bold offers. And one of the things that I said right out of the gate that may have surprised you is that it's not even necessarily about what's inside the offer, although the structure is important. Although we need to be intentional in the way we put it together, and we need to be mindful of the transformation. We have to identify the transformation. We have to know how to talk about the transformation. Like the offer isn't unimportant, but the offer could be in itself really great. You could have put in everything that's needed. I always like to talk about like weight loss coaching. If you're a weight loss coach helping women in midlife lose the belly bulge and gain energy and whatever the heck else, right? That's great. Your offer could have everything that woman, your best client, needs in order to lose the weight. It could have everything you need, but you know what? You may not be the most successful. You may not be signing clients on the regular. And as I thought about this, and even harder all week as I've been taking you through the Make Bold Offers challenge this week, I was thinking, you know what? What is it? You know, people talk about marketing and people talk about sales. But you know, at the very core of marketing and sales, it's communication. What is at the very core of your company, of your brand? It's communication. It's how you talk about you. It's how you talk about your business. It's how you talk about your core values. It's how you talk about how you serve your clients. It's how you describe your best clients. Everything points back to communication. You with me? And so when you think about talking about your expertise, that's positioning. How do I position something? Where do you begin? The words you use. When we talk about messaging and how are we going to draw in that wonderful best client, the right fit client that's hungry to get the result you offer, what does it come down to? Your words. Communication is huge. And so as I was thinking about this, I came up with 5 C's that each of these C's are critically important for you to win the communication game, if you will. Because as I said in the beginning, the best doesn't always win. And that's unfortunate, but that's okay. Now that you know, let's talk about these 5 C's of communication. Sound good? All right. First C of communication is clarity. Oh, Judy, you're going to say clarity again? Yes, because it's that important. We need to be clear in everything. When we're talking about the best client, we have to be clear. Is it a woman or is it a man? Or is it both? Is it a certain age? Is it a certain demographic? Like, we have to be clear. And, you know, it's fun that it seems to me that the clarity, sometimes we are so in the weeds of our own business. Tell me if this is true, that we're so in the weeds of our business that we're like, how could they not get it? It's crystal clear. And you ever say that? But this is where it's really important as a CEO that you pull up that 30,000 feet and say, you know what, I've got to get out of the weeds. I've got to pull up. I've got to get out of my own brain and get into the brain of my best client and look at the, you know, copy that I'm saying. Listen to the words that I'm saying. Is it clear? Is it as clear as I think? Okay, so that's the first C of the 5 C's of communication. Clarity. You need to be clear. Clever is not going to do it. Clever is no. That's a no-no. It's clear. Second, you need to be concise. Now, how many of those out there, how many of you tend to say a lot of words? I tend to be a bit verbose. I don't even want to, but I don't know. I get going on a riff and I can't stop. Okay. So concise. Here's what I know. I can always tell if somebody's newer in business when I look at their post, when I read their emails, when I ask them a question and they go on and on and on and on and on. The more expert you are, the more advanced you are, the more concise you are. And so when we're talking about the 5 C's of communication, which are so important so that you win more business, so that you sign more clients, so that you can make more impact, you've got to be concise. What do you have to say? And how can you say it in a way to use as few words as you need to make your point across, right? Use as many as you need, but as few as you really need. Okay, do you hear me? So concise is so important, especially depending upon the medium. Like posts that go on and on and on, or emails that go on and on, and people don't want to read that. I'm sorry, but their attention spans are not up to taking long, lengthy anything, posts or anything like that. Okay, so of the 5 C's of communication, we have clarity, you got to be concise. Third is conviction. People can tell from a mile away if you believe what you're saying or if you don't. Can't fake it. And so you need to speak with such passion. And right now I'm going off a script. I'm looking at 5 words here, the 5 C's of communication. But you can tell that I don't need the script to tell me what I already know. I am convinced that communication is critical to everything about business. From the name of the company to the name of the offer, to how you describe it, to how you describe yourself, and on, right? I've got to be convicted when I speak about my work so that you can see, number 1, that I'm passionate about it, and number 2, that I know what I'm talking about. That is so important. That's your 3rd C of communication. Your 4th C is concrete. Now, stay with me here. When we put any message out there, any writing, any copy, okay, it doesn't really matter if it's on your website, if it's in a post, in an email, you're communicating this way in like a live, you have got to be concrete, meaning you must be specific. I see too many of you talking in generalities. For example, you talk about client work. You're trying to give social proof. You're trying to prove a point. In my program, I have the la protocol. And what this means to you is ABC, right? And what this really means is XYZ. And I want to tell you about my client, Samantha, but you don't go into the specifics so that the story of Samantha lands. Do you understand? Okay, that's one way specificity isn't happening as much perhaps as it could be. Another way is just as you are talking to your best client and you're trying to draw them out by a story of their life, you know, like let's say you're a career coach and you help people, you help women make daring career transitions. That's one thing that one of my clients does. She helps her clients make daring career transitions. Like don't just sidestep it. Let's go for a daring career transition, right? So when you talk to that person in your social posts, for example, or in your blogs, you need to speak with specificity about her life. Why is that important? She needs to understand that you know what she's going through in her life. So, as an example, when you're talking about her work environment, you can't just say, you can't just say, "Are you tired of being ignored at the office by men who won't listen?" That's not specific enough. Like, think of a real life example and paint a picture with specificity where she can literally plant herself in the middle of it. So you're like, okay, tell me if this didn't happen at your last meeting. You're surrounded, there's 10 people around the table and you're the only woman there. And you're going around and talking about everyone has an opportunity on the floor, but somehow they happen to skip you. And when you raise your hand, you're ignored. And so when you assert yourself, someone says something like, "Ooh, she's in a mood." Like, do you see how that specificity is so much more compelling than the more general version? And I wish I could see you, but I'm not. Right now, I'm looking at Zoom. I can't see what you're doing, but pop it in the chat if you got what I'm dropping down in the way of specificity. And that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying you must be concrete. Paint a vivid picture. That's amazing communication. And then the fifth C is be complete. Be complete. So this can look differently in different situations, but every time you communicate something, make sure that you didn't leave an aspect of a story untold, or that you stopped because you were tired of writing in an email. So you're just like, okay, done, let's move on. Like, make sure the experience that you're creating by way of your copy or your message is complete, so that the person listening or reading or watching, like, it's tied up in a neat little bow. Okay. Now, again, I'm gonna quickly summarize the 5 C's of communication. But before I do, for those of you coming later, I want you to hear me on this. The best communicator always wins. Communication is at the root of branding. Communication is at the root of offer creation. Communication is at the root of marketing. Communication is certainly at the root of sales. And by the way, communication is also at the root of client delivery. Whether it's a done with you, done for you, one-on-one, group, course, whatever it is. Although, I don't like courses. You're better than that. You can do a program. Give the support to get real results. Okay, but anyway, here's your 5 C's as we exit. The first is clarity. Be clear. Second, be concise. Third, show your conviction. Fourth, be concrete. Be specific. And fifth, be complete. All right, I pray that this has helped you. And by the way, look in your emails for all of the replays. You get the replays for Make Bold Offers Challenge through Sunday at midnight. Do not delay. All right. And then the second thing I want to say is I don't want you to miss day 5 tomorrow. We're going to be talking about you creating an eternal legacy through your work. Telling you, do not miss that. All right. I love you, sister. Have a beautiful rest of your Thursday. Mwah. By the way, one last thing. I'm your coach this week. Are you taking full advantage of that? Are you doing our daily dares inside the Make Bold Offers Challenge? Because if you haven't noticed, I'm watching you. When you post a video, man, I'm over here cheering. Woo! Yay, way to go. and I'm offering some feedback, right? Or I'm telling you, wow, that was really awesome. I love this. I love that. If you have a question on anything we've talked about and covered this week, take advantage of the opportunity to post that question right here in the group. Take advantage. This is the thing. Those that are truly bold, visionary leaders, which is what I cultivate here at Judy Weber Co. Bold, visionary leaders take full advantage of opportunities. They find opportunities and they maximize those opportunities. So I look forward to seeing your next post here. And God bless you. I will see you tomorrow inside day 5 of the Make Bold Offers Challenge.